Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, the podcast. I'm your host, Morgan Barkus, also your body image coach and guide on this journey towards self love and authenticity. I help career driven, successful women learn to love their bodies, ditch the self loathing, the guilt, the unworthiness, so that they can feel free, confident, and sexy. Together, we'll explore powerful stories and practical tools to help you embrace your true self and cultivate confidence. Let's get this party started. I'm sure you've heard over and over again that comparison is not a good thing. It's not helping at all, except in one way. Seeing what you desire in someone else is a sign that you're meant to experience your own version of the same thing, and for a good reason. I say that, actually, I quote that. That is a quote from The Audacity to Be Queen by Gina DeVee. You've probably gotten the sense now that I'm reading her book. Yes, I am. I try to commit to 10 pages a day. It doesn't always happen every day because sometimes days get away from me, and that is the priority that I set aside usually. I always journal right away in the morning as I drink coffee or my Zoa drink, The Rock. I'm a big fan of The Rock, and his energy drink is the only one I've ever liked, and I only like the one flavor. I think it's cherry something. Anyway, always journal in the morning. Obviously, shower, working out, very important to me. Some days I have time and I have energy to hit the weight room. Most of the time, it's just a quick incline set on the treadmill and some yoga. Those are non-negotiables. And then pretty soon the work emails start rolling in, and that's where my attention goes. So I don't always get to my reading. And I try to get to 10 pages a day because if you think about it, even if you read only 20 of the 30 days in a month, that's 200 pages in a month. That's like a book, right? Side note, if you want to get into reading more books, 10 pages a day, just saying. Back to comparison as a good thing. And this is something I actually heard from Lori Harder as well, who is quite successful in her endeavors. I have been following her and her husband's story for many years. I knew them very casually, kind of from afar when I lived in Minneapolis back in 2023 to 2013. They had moved away before I'd moved away, and they just really have worked really hard. They are a fantastic couple. And what I liked about Lori's message, the time she talked about comparison, is she said, when I'm seeing something or someone doing something that I wish I was doing, one, I know it's possible now. And two, that gives me inspiration to go do that myself. That means there's something inside of me because let's say you're walking throughout your day and whether it's social media or in real life or you're at work, there are certain people that you're like, well, I'm glad I don't have their job. Right. I'm glad I don't have to do that. And then there are other things that when you see it, something in your tummy is like, oh, I wish I could do that, or I would love to be able to do that. That is a message. And rather than thinking negatively about yourself or being critical of the person doing that thing, oh, she only gets to do that because she was born into it, or she knew so and so, or it's because of this reason. Like, instead of saying that, you could look at her and go, that's awesome. It's possible. I want that thing too. I wonder if she would be willing to tell me how she got where she got, or do some research and find out how this person got where they got. And so if you use comparison more as a motivator and also a sign from the universe that this is something that you really want for yourself. And for me, it was always seeing women on stages speaking. I really, really love being in front of people, and I got to do that as a fitness coach in group fitness and really enjoyed my time as an exotic dance and fitness instructor for the everyday woman. I mean, it just was so fun to run those workshops and engage the women in conversation together as a group and then work with them individually. And also, when I taught group fitness in a more structured way with the franchise that I used to work for. And then, I wrote I was gonna say I wrote a book. I did not write a book. I'm in a book that's a compilation of a bunch of stories, and I did a talk one time on that and my story and the book, and some people bought the book and I signed it. It was really fun, and I really enjoy being in front of people that way. I joke too. My parents celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, 2024, and I had put together a dinner, and it was a smallish group, but just really some of the closest people in my mom and dad's life, family and friends, and I was a bit of bourbon in. And I knew I was gonna do a speech anyway, and I got on that stage, I grabbed that microphone, and I even joked out loud, I'm like, "Get me a microphone," and I could hear my dad because my niece recorded the speech, and my dad, I heard him in the background go, "Oh boy," because my family knows I like to talk, and I do not mind being in front of people. Anyway, I say all that to say, when I would see other people doing it, I would get like an ache inside of me, and I instead of going, I can never do that, or how did she do that? That's impossible for me. I thought, wow, she's doing it. How did she do that? Can I do that too? And what is my niche, and where do I fit in? And there's space for everyone. And that comparison, it might get you at first, and you feel that little pang and that little ache inside of you. And then you can spin it and say, how is this going to help me? How is this going to show me that it's possible, but also it's really an invitation. It's an invitation to go chase that thing if it's truly something. Because if you notice it over and over, if you pick up patterns of things that give you that little ache, because my guess is with all the scrolling and there's so much media. I mean, whether it's you're streaming a new TV show or it's just there's so much. We're inundated, and there are certain things that are going to trigger something inside of you. And the other things you filter right out because there is so much. Pay attention. Have more self awareness. Pay attention to those things that grab you and make you feel a certain kind of way. And then be curious. What is this about? Why do I feel envious of this right now? Why do I feel like I want to criticize or cut down that person? Is it because that person has what I want? And then send the good vibes, because I believe that what we focus on, we get more of. What we like attracts like. So if you're putting out the good vibes, the positive vibes, the encouragement, the enthusiasm, the gratitude, that's what you're going to get back. And that is how you turn comparison into a good thing. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Your Unapologetic Life. If you're ready to break free from self-judgment, step into your power, and live unapologetically, hit that subscribe button and join me on this transformative journey. If you're feeling generous, please share this episode with a woman that you care about. And don't forget, if you'd like to discover where you stand on your self-love journey, I have a self-love scorecard, assessing your body confidence. It's free, and you can DM me on Instagram or Facebook with the word assessment. You can also visit morganbarkus.com, enter your email address, and I will send you that free self-love scorecard assessment. Until next time, embrace your true self.